I don't think that animals should be killed cruelly. We can't make this world be all perfect. You mainly dispatch an animal and then you honor it by eating. Extremism is terrible and evil.
We raise, feed, and kill 70 billion land animals every year across the world for food that we don't need to eat. That's 10 times the human population. And in order to feed 7 billion humans, you have to have factory farms. And they suffer extremely at the slaughterhouse as well. They're killed when they're children because it's not financially profitable for the farmer to keep feeding this animal day after day for years and years to then kill them to get a tiny amount of meat. They wouldn't make any money. The natural lifespan of a pig is just like a dog, about 12 years old, but pigs are killed when they're only 6 months old. That's like killing a puppy.
When it comes down to meat being illegal, like, why not, like, humanely dispatch the animal at the optimal point where it's lived its happy natural life before it dies, like the bull elk out in the woods, before it dies, before it freezes a terrible death. Why not harvest the meat and eat it and use it before a cougar comes and cruelly tears it apart to pieces?
Okay.
In the winter. Yeah.
Okay.
Why waste the meat? Why not use the meat?
I got you. So you raised 2 points or questions. Can I do the first one first? So again, we don't want to make an appeal to futility by saying that, well, there's suffering in the world, therefore we can cause suffering. It's like, well, no, we're going to cause suffering just by existing, but that doesn't mean we are justified in causing the maximum amount of suffering. And also, we don't want to do an appeal to nature fallacy either, where we say, well, it's part of the natural world that suffering exists, so I'll just contribute to it, or like, death is inevitable, or lions eat animals, so why can't I? This kind of thing. The thing is that like lions are carnivores who have to eat animals in order to survive, and they don't know any better. But we, on the other hand, are civilized humans who can make compassionate choices, so we are therefore held to a higher moral standard. A lion would kill a human child if given the opportunity. Are we therefore justified in killing children simply because a lion would? No, but it's part of nature.
Yeah, there are some that have like crocodiles, man-eater lions that have exist. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what you did though, like I'm not trying to insult you. I appreciate this conversation. You're very open-minded and polite and stuff. I'm just trying to say it seems like what happened there was, you talked about caring about the ant as a child and then not caring about animals so much anymore. And I think what happened there is a process of desensitization and indoctrination into speciesism, where just like me, like all of us, we're raised by our parents and our culture and the TV and these restaurants to think that it's okay, that we should be nice to dogs and cats, but it's totally okay and in fact super cool to stab cows, pigs, and chickens and fish for our taste buds.
Okay, let me jump in then. I'm actually different that way because, like, when I go fishing with my dad and he catches certain fish called shad, he just throw them in a box and they would suffocate to death. It's terrible. And like I thought, can't we at least hit them in the head and kill them instantly? And like, I think what happens is they get knocked out and then they just don't breathe anymore and they die that way. But it's better than them suffocating to death. That was one of the things that I at least do. Most fishermen don't do that, so I like a different. I'm just saying, what would you do with all the meat? Do you want animals to go to extinct?
Okay.
And like, what do you propose we do with the meat? Do we feed it to the cougars and the carnivores? And like, and why can't we eat any of the meat that exists?
Okay, so that was the other point I think you had made, was like about humane slaughter.
The cougar eating the bull elk in the wintertime. A terrible, terrible death, being torn apart by a cougar.
Yeah.
Why can't we shoot it in the head? It doesn't know what hit it, and then all year.
Okay, so there's 2 ways to go about this. One is if we're talking about wild animals, or if we're talking about farmed animals. So
both of them.
Okay.
Free range cattle killed at an optimal date.
Okay.
They've lived years and years of happy life that they wouldn't have otherwise lived if they didn't live.
Yeah.
If they were bred and born, they wouldn't have had life.
Okay.
In the universe.
Okay, I got you. So let's talk about farmed animals in this, and then we'll talk about wild animals. with humane slaughter. Okay, so with farmed animals, we raise, feed, and kill 70 billion land animals every year across the world for food that we don't need to eat. That's 70 billion. That's 10 times the human population. And in order to feed 7 billion humans who want to eat meat, dairy, and eggs, you have to have factory farms. You have to have extreme animal torture in these farms prior to them arriving at the slaughterhouse, wherein they suffer extremely at the slaughterhouse as well, because you have to keep the kill line moving extremely fast to make these products for these consumers. And so animal welfare goes down the drain. Now, because it's more profitable, it's business. This is business. It's more profitable to keep these animals in cramped cages rather than let them have a nice, big area. But also, they're killed when they're children because it's not financially profitable or feasible even for the farmer to keep feeding this animal day after day for years and years to let them have that nice, long, happy life because this is again a business. Why would the farmer pour decades worth of food costs into feeding this animal to then kill them to get a tiny amount of meat? They wouldn't make any money. Okay, or if they did, like the prices of meat would be like skyrocket, like $1,000 for a steak in order to make up for all the plants that were fed to this animal. So it's not, it doesn't happen like that. So, and it couldn't happen like that. And also, old animal meat wouldn't be good. Like it'd be like you don't want to eat old flesh. Okay, but also like so the natural lifespan of a pig is just like a dog, about 12 years old. But pigs are killed when they're only 6 months old. That's like killing a puppy because that's as soon as they've been fed enough to where they're big enough to kill now. The natural lifespan.
I'm talking about what kind of a world would you imagine? Not the meat industry, like as shown on YouTube videos. I would ask you, like, how would you imagine the world to be? Would you like to reduce the population of animals in the world?
Definitely.
Like kill them off, or what
no.
do you do with the meat? Like when an animal dies, what do you do with it?
No. Well, okay, I got you. So again, we're not talking about wild animals in the farms. So this is going to be a gradual progression where over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you're going to start seeing cities banning meat, banning slaughterhouses, and going vegan, in creating an animal bill of rights, and then it's going to spread to other. Sorry, I'm answering your question. They'll spread to other cities and then states, and then become a federal law. Okay, and as this happens, as more people go vegan and buy more plant foods and less animal products, less animals will be bred into existence because of less demand, supply and demand. Usually, they're bred into bodies that are prisons because their bodies, we've been genetically modifying them and selectively breeding for generations to get them to produce as much meat, milk, and eggs as possible in a short amount of time. And this causes extreme suffering to their little bodies, where they get bone calcium depletion, they get mastitis and cancers and shit, and they can't fucking walk because their little legs can't hold the weight of their own bodies.
How do you want the animals to die? Because animals are going to die unless you can figure out how to make them be.
Yeah, so, right.
How do you want them to die? Do you want them to die without being dispatched cleanly, humanely, instantly, without them even knowing what hit them?
Well,
or do you want them to have horrible, terrible, natural deaths and be eaten by cougars?
Yes. Okay, so here's what I'm saying, is that these animals who currently exist in farms and slaughterhouses are going to die. They are going to be killed because people are paying for that. That's what's going to happen to those animals that exist. If though some of us activists will illegally go on to factory farms and slaughterhouses and rescue as many animals as we can and take them to an animal sanctuary where they get veterinary care and good food and get to live out their lives as happy as they can. Or if they're in such a terrible state, they'll be euthanized if their life is not worth living. Okay, but for farms in general, they're going to start breeding less animals into existence to the point where.
I don't know why you would want to depopulate the beautiful earth of life.
Okay, so again, sorry. I feel like I feel like you're straw manning my position without hearing it first. Okay, so
no,
again,
I was asking the whole time, like, what do you want to do?
I'm trying to answer you. I'm answering you, but you keep cutting me off. Okay, so
what do you do with meat other than waste it?
The meat will be eaten by you. Okay, now for the animals who would be on the sanctuaries, because there are animals who have been rescued from farms and slaughterhouses who are now on animal sanctuaries, and when they die, we just bury them or cremate them. We, like just like with my dog, when he died, I had no desire to eat his dead body. Okay, it'd be disgusting meat for one, but also like something to be said about respecting the dead or whatever. It's not wasteful to It's not wasteful to not eat a dead body.
The possums need to eat.
Okay, so if you want, like, I'd be fine with like if the animals in the sanctuaries, if once they die of a natural death or they're euthanized because they're in a lot of pain, to give that meat to carnivorous animals in the wild or rescued animals, like rescued cats and shit. Go for it.
I'm cool with like letting nature take its course. Honestly, I'm not the average person going to debate on this or whatever. That's why I'm thinking it's interesting. Because I'm thinking that people should kind of mind their own business and integrate as well as they can, and like back off and realize we do live on a murder ball. And if humans stopped existing, it would turn back and it still would be the murder ball it was before us, and it will be after us.
But with that logic,
the thing we're doing is like living these crazy industrial lives instead of an agrarian society, which is what we need to go back to, like the Amish.
well, it sounds like what you're saying that because we live on a murder ball where death happens, therefore we can kill animals, we can kill humans.
No, we need to stop the industrialization. Like, it's been so rampant. And climate change from all the stupid factories and cities and cars and roads.
But
It just,
yeah, sure, but I'm trying to get at the killing of animals right now.
I don't think that animals should be killed, like, cruelly. I think they should be, like, taken as much as possible. Like, okay, I had a deer jump in front. It wasn't in front of the car. I was towing a boat, and the deer, the fawn jumped in front and ran across the road in front of me. There was no way to stop. It was going on, and the deer made a mistake. The fawn made a mistake, and then the mom ran after the fawn behind my car and hit my boat and instantly died. And I thought, well, gosh, I have my deer tag in my wallet, so I tagged the deer and brought it home and ate the deer. I wasn't even going to go deer hunting that year. I just happened to have a deer tag in my wallet. And I thought that was obviously the right thing to do. And I ate the meat,
I disagree.
turned it into pepperoni and blah, blah, blah.
I disagree. I think that
Most people wouldn't have done that.
I think that
Leave the deer stuck in the ditch.
well, I think that the most ethical thing to do would be to, like, if the deer was suffering, put the deer out of their misery and leave them there so that wild animals who actually do need to eat meat can eat that carcass instead of us. Because otherwise, those wild animals, those wild predators will go kill another animal to eat that night.
Yeah. Well, it was right next to a lake, and people drank water out of the lake, so I had to move it away from there.
Okay.
And I had a deer tag.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, like that's not really my main problem, like eating meat isn't the issue so much as killing animals.
Yeah, I mean, this is street epistemology. I'm trying to like offer a couple of things to think about because I mean, if I could change the world, I would be like you and change it and undo the murder ball aspect. Honestly, I mean, we can probably agree there. If you view me as Darth Vader, please don't, because I'm not. I wish I could change things too. I just think that honestly, we can't make this world be all perfect.
Well, but that's not what I'm.
My life being so hateful towards people who have high teeth.
Well, that's again an appeal to futility because you could say the same thing about rape. Well, rape, like rape's always going to exist, so we might as well not even fight against it or make it illegal. It's like, dude.
Well, we have guns for that. The great equalizer.
Okay, and we're going to have laws to protect the animals.
But then again, if you think about it, if you really think about it, what law, what court, what government has ever proven authority over anyone or anything? It's literally just thuggery, and people just agree to laws.
Well, look at past social justice movements. Blacks and women and gays were violently discriminated against for the bulk of history, okay? Thousands of years. And yet, in just the past 100 years, those groups have gained significant liberation, and there's still work to be done. But if they had said, well, it's a murder ball, the world's full of suffering, we can't really do anything to fix it, then they never would have fixed it.
I don't know if they stopped being discriminated against or stop being angry.
Okay, okay, there are laws.
Love and happiness.
I don't know what you're talking about. If you think that there was wait. Well, I'm talking no, listen. Prior to women having the right to vote, they didn't have the right to vote. Now they do. So at least in the sense of discrimination in the voting booth, progress has been made. Women can now work, okay? They don't have to get beaten by their husband, all right? Gay people can get married. You can't discriminate against somebody for being black. You can't refuse to hire somebody on the basis of their race. That's illegal now. It still may happen, but to a significantly lessened degree because we fucking make sure that people can't get away with this shit.
But how are you going to vote when you don't have the well-regulated militia of the United States of America, in effect, supervising our public servants? I mean, and supervising the vote.
I think we're getting off topic here. I don't really know what...
No,
I feel like...
The society and the world and law itself, honestly, if you think about it. Extremism is terrible and evil. I like peace and love. And
well, I'm an extremist for human rights. Like, I'm an extremist in that I think rape should be illegal. Is that extreme, or is that just rational?
Well, it depends on what your definition of what rape is.
Okay. So do you just think we shouldn't fight for laws that protect women?
Laws that protect guns protect women. I think that every good woman should have a gun.
Okay, so you think we should not have laws protecting women?
I think that we should give every good woman a gun, and that can be our own laws.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I understand. But the question I asked is, are you saying we should do away with the laws that protect women from being raped?
Yeah, we don't need laws. We can be hippies.
Okay.
We can be peaceful, loving hippies. Just, anarchists, honestly.
Okay, well, the statistics...
Authority over anyone or anything.
Okay, well, just for the record, like, the countries that have more guns have more gun deaths. I don't know if that matters to you. So I support having laws against raping women.
I don't support laws because laws can't use authority over anyone.
Well, they can help protect people, though, right? They can help.
Extremism is the problem.
Like, do you think that the law against rape has not protected women to any significant degree?
Correct. No law has ever protected anyone from being raped.
Really? Because I know of a lot of people who have I know of a lot of people who have committed violent crimes like murder and stuff, and then they go to prison where they're no longer able to murder people.
The law didn't protect the person, did it?
No, the law protected the other people who would have been killed by this person. It does, because if you let a serial killer... No, hold on. If you let a serial killer run free, they're going to kill more people. If you separate them from society, they can't kill anybody, and you're saving lives. But you don't like that law?
The people with the guns dying. The law didn't do anything. The good people with guns got the bad people. And extremism is the most evil thing that's invested in. I think that love is the opposite.
Okay, so here's the thing though, like a woman, like you're recommending that instead of laws, women have guns to protect themselves. But like there's a lot of problems with that right there, but the animals can't arm themselves. As much as I'd love to give a gun to a pig so they can defend themselves, they can't do that. So are you saying that sorry, please don't interrupt. Are you saying that I should pick up arms on behalf of the pigs to defend them from you? It's hard to hear you.
That's genocidal. You're promoting animal genocide.
Am I? How so?
Yeah, you want animals to die natural deaths and be given to carnivores. But the carnivores like to hunt and eat healthy prey, not things that are like diseased and dying and dead.
Well, how's that a genocide?
The right nature knows better than the extremists.
Well, I'm not asking about nature. I'm asking how is it a genocide? How did I advocate genocide?
By trying to say that we should phase out animals. That's just worse than Hitler because there's billions and billions
oh, yeah.
that you're suggesting that we not have. Because the more animals we raise, the more chickens we are born, the more lives get to live in this universe and enjoy life and sentience.
Yeah, so...
And I'm all for, letting them live nice, good, cage-free sounds good, great. free-range cattle.
Yeah, but so hold on, before we move to that, but like if I don't have a kid, I'm not hurting that non-existent kid by not bringing them into existence. They don't fucking
Yeah,
exist.
you are. Yes, you are. You're forsaking that matter and not giving it sentience. You're not letting it experience life and sentience because we only have our one mortal life, and you're spending yours being a radical extremist and living a life of hate instead of love.
What are you talking about? First of all, why are you insulting me like that? Why are you...
We got one life to live.
You're calling me names like extremist and stuff and saying I'm hateful. How am I hateful?
You want to genocide the animals, and I think that we should let the animals live. I mean, I think that as many lives as possible that could live, trillions of lives should be lived instead of just a couple lives. Like
again, though, if we let these animals breed, their children are going to have very hard lives in the sense of they're going to be overproducing meat and milk and eggs, and that hurts their bodies. And I think it's mean to bring somebody into existence who's going to be suffering constantly. It's better to not bring them into existence. You can't hurt somebody who doesn't exist.
No, it's always better to be able to have symptoms and experience like because matter is matter is matter is matter. All of us were together, and every single subatomic particle in this universe was all together at the center 13.8 billion years ago. And all matter is the same age. It's all 13.8 billion years old. And we were all together that long ago. And we've been stars before. We made a stardust.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dinosaurs before.
What's the relevance? Like,
the apple that you ate last week is now a poop that's growing a tree somewhere. It depends on where you go. But
what point are you making?
I'm talking about matter and particles, and like even a diamond is moving. Everything.
What are you?
This universe is literally made up of matter that's constantly changing form and moving.
So that makes it okay to kill people because they're going to change into another form? I don't understand what your point is.
No, I mean, like honestly, the best way that we've evolved to be as people, like, was pre-industrial revolution. The industrial revolution it kills more mosquitoes and bugs.
Okay, well, you can hold to that and still not kill animals, right? Like you can want to regress technologically or societally or whatever and still not kill animals in that farmer whatever society.
Animals die, though.
What?
I'm just saying, like, you humanely dispatch an animal and then you honor it by eating its meat, and it's humanely grown and humanely dispatched.
Yeah, but it's not
to live a life that it wouldn't have had. It would have just been sitting there being wrapped.
Do you know what the definition of humane is showing benevolence or compassion? And I don't think it's compassionate to take their lives. It's not compassionate or humane to take their lives when we don't need to and they don't want to die yet.
The worst thing is to genocide the animal population.
I didn't say that. You keep saying that. Look, I'm not arguing for genocide. First of all, what we could do is breed less breeding so that it could be a manageable amount, and maybe we could only breed if we really feel like it's so necessary to keep chickens and pigs and domestic cows and stuff around. We could what we could do is like try to find like the best of their species who have the least kind of bodily problems like cancer or overgrowing and stuff, and only breed those ones and just have like 5 or 10 worldwide so that the species still continues, but there's only a handful of them, so it's more manageable, so we don't have to pour a bunch of resources into them. And that way, like, why are we like, the dog breed pug? A pug has been bred in a way that their nose is like smushed up into their face and they have really a lot of difficulty breathing, just like a bulldog. And so we don't need to breed those animals anymore. There's no need to breed those animals and create more puppies that are going to suffer with that. Instead, just spay and neuter. Okay?
Well, that's like bad because then less life gets to live.
That's not a problem for me. Most people don't care about that. Like it's like bringing. If I bring somebody into existence and then kill them, that's fucked up because I took their life from them.
But you shouldn't be doing it inhumanely, bringing people into existence to kill them. I think that this planet should have as much happy life on it as possible, and let as much of the matter on this life live as many times as it could. Like, I'm sure I've been all sorts of different types of dinosaurs before, and like my left hand could be made.
Well, what I'm concerned. Okay. Okay, I gotta go soon, but like what I'm concerned about is the animals who actually do exist right now, who feel pain and fear and pleasure and want to just hang out with their babies and shit, and I don't want to slit their throats. So,
Wait, you let little kitty cats go out and eat mice.
do I?
If it
Why?
was
Why do you? Why do you think I do that? Wait, why do you think I do that? Why are you assuming you know anything about
kitty cats eating mice?
what?
They kill more things than anything in the country. I think the whole world are cats.
So why do you think I support that? Do you think I have a cat?
They kill the vermin off, and they eat the mice and the rats and squirrels and things. They eat the vermin, and they keep a balance of nature. But at least the mice got to live. I mean, they're cute. They should get to live.
Yeah, and you should get to live for as long as you can, and I have no right to intervene and cut your life short. Same with my treatment of a dog or a cat or a cow or a pig.
I guess. I mean, like, it's kind of weird how humans have inflicted themselves upon nature on us. I think that people shouldn't think that. I think that humans are the only species stupid enough to think that they're to conquer nature and do things like breed dogs, like the Chihuahua, which was bred to be a meal before refrigeration. That was what the Chihuahua was bred to be.
Well, I think that like nature, has some good things about it, and has some bad things about it. And like illness and disease is natural, but it's harmful, and so we come up with human-made antibiotics and medicines. So we don't care about.
Disease like extremism is natural, but nature takes care of it. Extremism is that. Like there's this guy named Eisenhower, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and he said extreme views are always wrong.
Okay, so do you think it's
I'm a centrist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it because he's a centrist and I'm a centrist. I just want to throw my burger and be left alone.
Okay, well, good luck, because we're gonna make that shit illegal real fucking soon, so you cannot hurt animals even if you want to.
But you want it to get slaughtered and like torn apart and frozen to death in the winter. That's terrible.
We're talking about farmed animals. We were talking about farmed animals. They're not. You keep doing this.
Farmed animals, more animals get to live instead of just being.
Okay, I'm done, buddy. But thanks for the convo.